So in the last meeting, we basically talked about agents and how to create these agents and what these agents are. And we had a bit of sample of what are the built-in intents in Dialogflow. And so we said that the built-in intents are the default fallback intent, which is the intent that is triggered when nothing is matched. So if you type some data like what is the weather in a newly created agent, it would have no idea what you are talking about because we have not trained it with anything. And so we saw that if it doesn't understand what you are saying, the agent will just give you something from the default fallback intent. So this is what you call a built-in intent. It is an intent which you do not create yourself. It is built into Dialogflow. Another built-in intent is the default welcome intent. Basically, Dialogflow agent will respond when you give a greeting like hello, how are you, or something similar. And we saw that it replies because there is already an intent created when you create the agent, and it's called a default welcome intent. So we're going to learn about intents in general. So this brings us to the flow of conversation, and I've shown a similar diagram last lecture. And so the idea once again is the human who is uttering a phrase or a sentence will be typing this utterance in some client. In this case, it could be a mobile device like which has an app like Facebook Messenger, and then this will interact with Dialogflow. So what Dialogflow will try to do is to match this utterance to some intent. And so we're gonna learn more about this as we go along. So what is an intent? So an intent maps what a user says to what the software should do. It is up to you to decide what are the things this agent or this chatbot is supposed to do. And typically this chatbot will respond to a variety of utterances. So for example, if you have a weather bot, you could have a weather bot with response to what is the weather in Singapore. If you're asking for a weather in a particular city, you could have a particular intent for that. Okay, so here is another illustration for something like a travel chatbot. So this travel chatbot could reply to a bunch of utterances. Can you book me a flight to Bangkok tomorrow? Right? So this could be matched to an intent called book flight intent. The name of this intent, it's up to you. It doesn't really matter what you call it, as long as you can understand what it is supposed to do. How about if in this travel chatbot, what if the user says, buy me a ticket to Hong Kong on January 25? Is that a book flight intent as well? Yes, right? Even though it is said differently with different data, this should trigger as well a book flight intent. But how will the chatbot know this exactly? That is where all the training comes in. You have to train it on the phrases that will trigger this intent. So the more training you do, the better. So it's not easy to make a bot understand something. You have to train it properly. Here's another utterance. Can you help me search for a hotel in Bangkok? Can you help me search for a hotel in Bangkok? It's a different type of task because you are not booking but searching for something. And so you might have another intent handle all these type of requests which are search related. And of course, we have also the built-in intents like hello or hi. And you could add hundreds of these intents in a chatbot. The main drawback, of course, of adding too many intents is that the bot can become confused. And so because in the end, you could make as many intents as you want, but the question is in a live situation or a production type chatbot, how often does this bot fail? So sometimes something which is so complicated or so comprehensive fails a lot, and that will annoy your customer. All right, so that is an introduction to intents. And so let's now go into Dialogflow, try this out so that we can understand this process a little bit better.